Hello there, thanks for coming by PosterCentral.com's video blog today. I'm Pete Howard, and who doesn't love the Beatles, right? Pretty much the top of everybody's list, or top 5, whatever. Certainly with me, and here I've got a nice assortment of unused Beatles concert tickets from their touring days in the 60s. And, you know, unused tickets obviously much harder to find than ticket stubs, which a lot of fans hung on to. But unused tickets, they all have a different reason for why they weren't used. I've heard that sometimes people got press passes and just stuck the unused ticket in their purse or wallet and went in. Other times a friend canceled. Other times a snowstorm would keep a whole group of people from going. So any way you look at it, they're tough to find and they're a lot of fun. So I'll just quickly go through these unused Beatle concert tickets, which this starts off from 1962, March 10th. Obviously 62 means a British concert ticket. It's from Birkenhead, United Kingdom, and they were called Polydor recording artists, which is really funny. That just meant they got a gig backing up Tony Sheridan on a session or two. But still, those sessions produced Ain't She Sweet and My Bonnie and some real rocking songs. So that's really a nice charismatic ticket. Then we have a really debatable ticket, but you know, we think it's real. It's Beatles and Ed Sullivan Show, February 9th of 1964. As you can see, it says the Ed Sullivan Show with the date on there. It doesn't say the Beatles, of course. That would probably tip it off as not real. But this is a nice mint unused ticket that, frankly, a couple of friends and I have put our heads together and we feel is real from a very historic date in Beatles history. Then also in 64, we go to September 3rd. A ticket from their first full tour of America, and this is from the Indiana State Fair. A beautiful mint condition blue ticket with their pictures right on there, which is really nice. They were getting their pictures on things by this point. Then we go back to back overseas to the UK, and here we have one from November of 64, after the Beatles had gone back after their American tour. This is an unused ticket from Belfast, Ireland. Then we'll pick up the summer of 1965, the 65 tour, and this is, I'll get a little bit closer so you can see it, from White Sox Park, as you can see. This is an unused ticket from Chicago, and the gig happened just 5 days after their extremely historic Shea Stadium show in 1965, the biggest date basically of their entire career. Also sticking with August of 1965 and that American tour, here's an unused ticket for the Beatles from San Diego. And this is August 28th, 1965. Nice pink ticket, as you can see there. Thank you. And just really, you know, the thing I love about this particular ticket is the night before, the Beatles had their summit meeting with Elvis Presley in Beverly Hills, which, you know, by most accounts was a disappointment, but still it happened. Those 5 guys were in the same room, and this is the show from the very next day. So the Beatles had been in-person Presleyized for this show and everyone onwards. So after that we have the Suffolk Downs tickets, which it's the one instance where Beatles unused tickets are fairly common because the show didn't sell out. This is from now the 66 tour when a lot of shows were not selling out, and they kept the shoeboxes of all the extras, and so they can be had out there. Boston, Suffolk Downs, of course, in Boston, and these are 5 different colors. Unused tickets from the Beatles 66 tour. Then, in August 23rd of 66, they returned to Shea Stadium, and this is a nice unused green ticket from there, as you can see, and a nice picture of the Fabs on there. Same picture they used on 65 tickets, but that's okay. And then the Beatles' last concert ever, everybody knows, was at Candlestick Park in San Francisco, and here is a couple of unused tickets. They always have predominantly the radio station on them. Sometimes it's just called the KYA tickets, and of course the 4 smiling mop tops on the tickets. And these are really fun to have because even non-ticket collectors and even sort of non-Beatle collectors, just music enthusiasts, like these because it was the Beatles' last show ever. I imagine even in England this thing is, if you will, a hot ticket. Now I'm going to actually end with one out of chronological order because this is the most fun one if you ask me. This is back to the 1964 American tour, and this is from Kansas City. As you can see, a white ticket, $8.50, the most expensive seat. Now this is interesting because Charles O. Finley was in Kansas City and the owner of the Kansas City Athletics. Matter of fact, you turn the ticket over and there's a picture of him in a Beatle wig. How's that? His picture right there on the ticket. And in fact, it says, yeah, 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 below the picture. What's interesting about this, the Beatles and Brian Epstein and so forth scheduled the 64 American tour and didn't include Kansas City. Well, Finley had sort of promised Kansas City he would bring the Beatles to them, and he was Mr. Promoter, Mr. Flamboyant Promoter. So he went to Epstein. He actually intercepted him on the first date of the '64 American tour in San Francisco and offered him $50,000 for the Beatles to play. Epstein said no, so what did Finley do? He doubled it, $100,000 for the Beatles to play. Epstein said no, it's the boys' day off. They want to go visit New Orleans and see some of historic America. You know, they're working every day. So what did Finley do? He gave it a few days and so forth and met Epstein in Los Angeles and tore up the $100,000 check and wrote a check for $150,000 for one Beatles show in Kansas City on their open date, September 17th. And Epstein took the offer into the Beatles. They were like in a back room playing cards somewhere, and the report is they never even looked up in their card game, and they let Lennon speak for them, and Lennon said, yeah, sure, whatever you want. So Epstein went back and accepted the $150,000 check, and the Beatles played Kansas City, and it was a hot ticket, and this is great to have an unused one. And by the way, that $150,000 comes out to almost $5,000 a minute for the Beatles' time in Kansas City. And it's remarkable to think that was just about 13 months after they had last played the Cavern Club in Liverpool for probably no more than $20 an hour. And here they were a little more than a year later getting almost $5,000 an hour. Great story behind this ticket and the Kansas City show. So, and by the way, I want to thank the Complete Beatles Chronicle book for a lot of this information. Hope you enjoyed the unused Beatles tickets today. A lot of fun here, and you know, collect them all. What can I say? Get all the North American dates and some English ones too. Thanks for dropping by. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.